Hello everyone. In today's session we are going to discuss on our system that we had created using the PHP. But this I need to give you just a overlook of what we expect to know when we learn the PHP. So with me I'm going to launch my server. So I'm using the XAMPP, so I can open the control panel. You can just go to the start. If you cannot locate it here at the most used, you can click on all apps, or if you cannot see through the all apps, you can use the search windows or the container and get it. So with me I'm just going to have it here. Then you can see it is not you need to start the Apache, and also you need to start the MySQL so that you can be able to access your database. You can minimize it and then now you can go to your favorite browser. For me, I like using, so you see now here you can be able to access any file that you have stored, and maybe for example the files that we are going to use, or the file that you're going to use in your XAMPP, you are supposed to locate them at this folder where you have the Windows Drive C, that is and then we have the folder here known as the XAMPP. And then if you open it, it has many files, but the file that you're going to be mostly using is ht docs. And you can see here I have a library, so I want us to open it from the this browser. From this browser you can either locate it by typing the localhost that, and then you slash it at the end, and then you click enter. So here you can see I have opened that. I can be able to open that and be able to access the folder. Maybe for example I can open that, and this is the website that I have already created of the library. And maybe to access it again, you can also maybe double click on it, and you can open using the IP address, which is by default 127.0.0 then 0.1, that way. And then you can click, and still you can see you can be able to locate these. You can be able to learn or get to our server. So here you can see I have this. I can start with this PHP, and here I have different tabs here. This is the navigation and this is the body. So if I can double click, if I can click on this to open it, you can see it is this page that is loading, which is index.php. So to get the code that has been that he has written for this, you can go to drive D WAMP, then we can go to this folder ht docs. I can double click, then library, and then under the student here you can see we have this index.php. You can right click it and edit it with the WordPad. So, and this is the code that we have for this. So you can see the first one is a session that we have created, although we have not done this, but we are going to do it maybe from our series that we have already started for the PHP admin. So you can see we have embedded the HTML, the HTML data here, and also you can see we are using some of the CSS, that is the cascading style sheet, to style our website. And you can see here it is online library management system. When you locate here, you can see the name here is online library management system. If you can change this, maybe we can try to remove that online and we say library management system, and then we can save it here. And then if we can come here and refresh, you can see we have already if you come here to this, so that is it. So that and then we have different tabs that we are using here. The reason why we have not, because it is included in many areas. So this one was inside the body, sorry. So this was inside the body library. So you can see here we have changed this one to library management system, not the title. For the title, you could have changed it here at the top here. Sorry, here we could have removed that to library management system, and then we click on save, and then we come here and refresh. So you can see here at the top we have now library management system, and here, so you can see we have different tabs here that we have, including the books. So you can see this one tells us it is correctly located. So this is books.php. This is what is located in our database, and from the database it can be echoed here through the use of PHP. If we can try to locate this code here, we have the book.php here, book.php, and you can edit it also. So you can see this is our book.php, and in this you can see we have included the PHP here, and also we have included the session and also the decision making, that is the if conditions, and then if and else. We remember we have if, we have else, and also we have the else if we have many options, but here there were two. So you can see these ones are the titles of these books, and then this one is what through these, or the use of this loop while, we can be able to fetch all the data that we have from the database, and then we can be able to display them. Maybe for example, to show you what I mean by that, you can see here there is no book that we have, but if I comes to my database here, to go to the database I just need to have, I can just use the that, and then I can slash it, then I can write PHP my admin PHP my admin, that way, and that is what I need. Let me see if we can be able to locate our, where we have stored our database. Here we have it, and there it shows. So this is the PHP my admin of our website, or the backend. So you can see here, for example, here I have the books. This is my database, so I can double click it to open it and see it is loading. So for example, this is what is echoed. This is what is echoed by that. This is what is echoed. If we try to insert, maybe let us insert a book, we can say so we can give the value of our bid here. Is it this one is maybe 47. The name of the book, maybe we can call it the PHP book, a PHP book, and then also we can give the header. The header here we can see is Morris, maybe online, and then edition we can say it is maybe first, and then status we can say maybe it is available or avail. Then quantity we can say there are 200 of them. In department, of course, it is in the department of IT. It is in that department of the IT. And then we can go. and there we have that. So this is a row that is inserted in those columns, and then from there let us try to load it, you see, and then books. So that is adding manually. That is how you can add it manually. This is how you can add it manually. So you can see here I have 447 here, PHP Morena Morris. So let us try to go back to our system here. You can see here currently we don't have it, but let us try to reload it, we see. And if you reload now, you can see here we have 447 Morris online, then it is fast avail, then all that 2000, and then it is IT. So that one is enabled by this this PHP data. So that's why you see now we cannot isolate ourselves by the PHP as for us to be able to access the back end of our system, or the databases of our system. So by that we can be able to do that. And then remember also here we can have another tab which is the login. So remember we have this login, and for us to be able to access this login we have created the system. Maybe you can see the name here is login.php. So I can relocate it here from this, and then maybe login here. I can right click and open it with that. So this is a code for that part here for the login. So you can see here we have all the data, and still for us to be able to insert or to select the data from our database, you can see we have set the session using the PHP code here and a bit of the JavaScript, which we are going to cover at later on. So for you to be able to code the full system that will connect the database, that's why the reason why you have to go through with me for this area, so that we can be able to cover the PHP language so that you can understand it. Remember also to have a very responsive feedback, that you can be able to echo what your user is commenting. That is the feedback here. So for you to be able to access these, if you write something there and post it, you can be able to see. Maybe I can say thank you for visiting this website, maybe for visiting site. If I just say that and then I click on comment, you can see here there is a pop-up already. It can be able to indicate on our website that it is. And for you to see that code that I have used for this, you can go to feedback.php here. As the importance of using the PHP here, and then we can edit it with that. So for it to be able, and remember for it to this, we have the php include config.php. This config.php is the one that connects our site with the database or the back end of our system. So you can see for us to be able to write that, there is a session that is inserting these values to whatever. So whatever we have written there, it is also inserted to comments a database. If I comes here to my database here, there is a database by the name comments it is, and if I double click and then I look at it, there is that comment we have already added. You can see it is the last in here, comment number 13. Here we have this, and if I decide to delete it from here, if I delete it from here, you cannot see it from there. So this now to be echoed and be able to display it here, for it to be able to be displayed here, there is the use of the PHP, so that we can be able to this way. That is, here is the code that is inserting by the use of this PHP. It can be able to, and then from there we can be able to echo whatever is in that or fetch whatever is in that table by use of these code, that is the loops from the PHP. So that is the importance of has going through the PHP language. And remember also, we can be able to include, remember we in PHP we can be able to include all these. You can see all these is common in all that. And also we have maybe the footers here, which is also very easy to carry out with the PHP code here. So this footer, remember to access this footer that you have included in all the pages here. There is the code for the footer here, which is the footer, and the footer.php here, this footer. So I can click it. So this is my footer that I have created for that site, and you can see I have included all these for different social medias, that is the Twitter, all that. And you can see here we have all that. And remember, for us to be able to configure to connect the two, that is to connect these database and this system here, there is the config that we have included in our site. And for us to be able to configure or to connect to the database, we have used this code. A very easy code and very short code. This is the root. Now we have the localhost, the root, the user, and that is this one bears the server name, user, password, and the database name. So if you look at our database, we have no password. This is our root that we are using, and then the database name is the user. So the database itself is known as the user. If you come here and look, so here I have this user, and then under the user now I have these tables of admin, books, comments, students, all that. Now remember, a database can have as many tables as you wish, depending on the requirements that the client have. So that is what connects that to the user, and simply that is how we can connect our database. You can see here still we are using the PHP. That's why we normally say that this one is a server-sided scripting language, that you need to know the PHP for you to be able to write any code that can be able to connect to our database. Remember, the HTML is for structuring, the CSS is for styling, and then JavaScript will give some motions to your website, but the PHP will give the dynamics to the databases, and also the scripting language to the servers. That is, you can see here, for me to be able to connect my site to the database, I have used this is the opening tag for the PHP, and then this is the variable name that starts with there, and my variable is equals to my SQL connects, and then I have the localhost because of course I'm offsite. And then if that is that, you die, and then if this is true, you can echo successfully connected. So that is simply what we are going to have, so that we can have a very good looking website which can be able to connect to our database and everything. So in our second practical now, apart from the first practical that we have already done on how to connect to learn a PHP code, the next practical now will be starting on the variables, then decision making loops, all the way going that. By the end we complete the PHP and Java, we shall be able to maybe to develop a full system that can connect the database and also can have the front end. That means that you can have a front end part in your website and also a back end part in your website after we are done with that. And that's bring us to the end of this session overview of the site. I was your trainer, Maurice Monene. If you have found this video of importance to you, please consider subscribing, like, and share. And if you wish, if you want this code also, you can comment, leave a comment. I can also share the codes to you. Thank you very much.